I hope you were able to pick up some new signs in that demonstration. You ready to learn some more? Let's do it. First sign we're going to learn today is need. Need. It's an X hand shape, palm down, kind of taps on the desk, even if you don't have a desk to tap on. Sometimes need, like must, have to, right? As opposed to probably should, right? Those are all signed the same way with the sign need. It's a really important sign. We use it all over the place. But need is different than want. Want. I like to think of like a baby or a toddler. Have you ever eaten with a toddler? Here's a picture of one of my grandkids, and we're at a barbecue restaurant. Why is there all this empty table in front of her? Because babies grab it and they just want everything. They pull it towards them, right? So that's the sign want. That helps you remember a little bit. Next, I'm going to teach you a phrase. It's a phrase in English, but it's only one sign in ASL. Would you mind? Or do you mind? Or just basically asking for a favor. So it's a one hand, palm in, touches your nose, and then swings out. And then your eyebrows go up while you're doing it. Would you mind? So if you're going to ask somebody for a favor, you start with that sign. So those are all really important survival signs that you can use. Need, want, and if you don't mind. Some other signs that'll help you get around in school would include paper. So flat hands, palms together, one up and one down, and then you clap, but it's only that top hand that moves and it makes circles toward you. Paper. So I think about how when you have a big ream of paper, you have to kind of spread out the pages a little bit before you put it in the printer or in the copier. Otherwise it gets jammed. So that's kind of what you're doing. You're separating those pages. Paper. Next is pencil. So it's just like you're holding a pencil. So I call that a closed, I call that hand sign a pinch. Your textbook calls it a baby O. I've also seen it called a closed X, but it's like you're holding a pencil and then you write with it. Or sometimes it starts at your mouth, pencil. Because back in the old days, you kind of had to lick the lead to get the pencil to write very well. It's not actually lead, it's graphite. Okay, but pencil. Pen, you just spell. It's a short little word, easy to spell, pen. Then you have your pencil and then you write with it. Write. Or jot it down. That's to like put it down on paper. So your weak hand is the paper. This is a flat O. It's an O that's been run over by a truck, poor thing. And then it becomes a flat hand. So you put it down on a piece of paper or jot it down. Next is the verb to stand up. So here's the floor, here's your little legs, and you put your weight on your feet. Stand up. And the opposite of that is to sit down. We talked a little about the sign chair. So if it's a small repeated movement, that's the noun for a chair. But if you just do it once, sit. And it's the idea, originally the sign was like the weak hand is the bench, and then here's the little legs, and they walk over and they sit down. And occasionally it's still signed that way. But mostly if you're just telling people have a seat, you just say sit. And in English that might be two words, sit down. In ASL it's just one sign. We don't need to put the down. It already has down in the movement. Next is the word slow down. Slow down. So your weak hand, your dominant hand drags up your weak hand. Slow down. Now, you can try and use this sign on me. Doesn't actually work all that much because, believe it or not, I actually am signing slow, and my goal is always to be just a little faster than you're comfortable with so that you'll always be able to get a little faster. But there it is anyway, slow down. So when you meet somebody and they're signing at deaf speed at 1,000,000 miles an hour, you can say, oh, I'm learning, slow down. Next is one, it's a little more useful in the classroom than it might be online, but it's still good to know, volunteer. So it's an F hand, you kind of just grab your shirt and pull it away from you a little bit, volunteer. Take turns. Well, really, this is a directional sign, so it gets a little tricky. This is the sign to like take turns back and forth. So it's an L, palm down, and then it's palm up. So we're going to take turns, or two people are going to take turns. But if you and I are taking turns, then it's turning this way. It's my turn, and then it's your turn. So I can say, oh, I'm finished, your turn. Oh, you're done? It's my turn? Okay. Right? Or we can take turns around the circle. So that's a directional sign. It changes depending on whose turn it is, who's involved, what's going on. Another directional sign is the word copy. Copy. So my weak hand is the source, and then I'm going to grab that information and pull it away. Copy. So if I want you to copy what I'm doing, this becomes me and you copy me. If I were in my classroom and I had notes up on the board, I might say, copy those notes, because it's not me that you're copying, it's the words off the projector. If you're going to make a photocopy, you take that piece of paper, put it on the glass, and then you copy it. If you were behind on your notes and I say, hey, copy from a neighbor, you're going to copy her notes. You can do it this way. So that's also a directional sign. One more directional sign for you, tell or say. So I'm going to tell you the answer. You can tell me what happened. I'm going to announce to everybody the news. Tell or say. Now take a minute to review those signs on your own. If you need to go back and rewind the video to see how to do them again, I would encourage you to do so. Then we'll learn some more.